Happy Tuesday, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm bringing you the sad news that we have quite a gray sky behind us. Over Doak Campbell Stadium, where we've been seeing wind after wind, 58 degrees, we have light wind, and the wind coming out of the east-northeast at 13 miles per hour. We'll see a slightly chilly temperature of 58 degrees here in Tallahassee, looking pretty homogeneous throughout the region. We'll go down to the coast at Apalachicola, 59 degrees, and we'll see those dew points follow those temperatures quite close. So 55 degrees, meaning we have quite high humidity. The temperature is really close to the dew point temperature, giving us quite humid skies. Local radar is showing this low pressure system bringing this front and rain all through Tallahassee, and we will be seeing that through the next day and go just north as the days progress. So those cold, rainy days to come, we'll be traveling to Joshua Tree National Park and our Thanksgiving plans. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Good afternoon, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Jackson Ezel.
And I'm student meteorologist Nico Sapienza.
And we have a lot in store for you today for the weather, and it's been some exciting weather. It's actually raining outside. We haven't had rain in 32 days, so it's definitely been a nice change. What do you think about this rain, Nico?
Definitely well needed considering the drought that we've been in. We have not had measurable rainfall since October 12th. It's been over a month since we've had this.
Yeah, I'm sure we're all enjoying that, especially these cooler temperatures that are coming with this rain, and especially if you're doing farming in the Big Bend region, this rain's been really nice for you. So now we're going to go take a look at our region, local region here in Tallahassee and surrounding counties over on the wall with Genevieve.
Yeah, thank you, Jackson. Nico, you mentioned October 12th was the last time we had rain. So though us walking to class here on FSU's campus, we don't really look forward to walking through mist and having our shoes soaked. But 58 degrees and the rain here behind us, we'll take that over pouring rain. We'll see that rain progress, and though if you walk outside here in Tallahassee, it isn't really pouring rain. It's slightly misty and a little bit more like showers. We'll see those showers progress into the next day and take us through the night, really. So I would recommend staying inside tonight, maybe watching a movie or getting your homework, your synoptic, studying in before you go outside and do anything else. Current temperatures for the region, 58 degrees here in Tallahassee. We are into the upper 50s for most of the region, Apalachicola down by the coast at 59 degrees. And our temperature almanac for today, our high was 67 and our low was 57. So those temperatures are really quite close and luckily far from that 85 degrees, though last week we could have been quite similar to that 85 degrees that we saw as our record. Current dew points for the region, 55-degree dew point in Tallahassee. I really want to stress how close that is to the actual temperature and tell you that the percentage of humidity is so high because that dew point and the real temperature is so close together. We'll see that rain go through the region in the next 24 hours and keep going north into Georgia and the Atlantic coast states. And tonight, that rain will persist, 54 degrees. So ideally, you're staying home, you're knitting, crafting, doing your homework, maybe doing your laundry. That's something always good to do when you are inside on a nice rainy day. Tonight's forecast, 59 degrees. Apalachicola, you're slightly warmer at 63 degrees, but 55 in the northern part of the Big Bend. And tomorrow, the story continues with rain at 69 degrees. And tomorrow's forecast, we'll see that 69, upper 60s, and go down by the coast, we'll see those 70-degree temperatures and just nearing that. And for the week ahead, we'll have that rain progress into the next couple days. Luckily, Saturday and Sunday, we will have that sun come back. We love the sun here in Tallahassee, though we have been seeing summer-like conditions, so it's really good to see this rain finally give relief, especially more towards our friends in Pensacola who have had a slight drought. So giving that relief is something that we always want. But now I'll be passing it off to Nico with Florida. Is rain happening anywhere else in the state, Nico?
Yeah, it definitely is. We're seeing rain across much of the state right now, Genevieve. You can see these in the cameras right now. Panama City, you can see an eerie sky. Orlando, it's dark. Talking about Miami, it seems to be a little bit drier. Tampa, you can see some droplets on the camera as well. So definitely a wet one across much of Florida. But looking at our temperatures, you can see where the cooler air is up here. 56 degrees with that rain is not very nice to be outside in. Southern Florida, you're dealing with temperatures in the mid and upper 70s, so these aren't going to be quite as smuggy, quite as dreary and blustery as it is up here. But over the next 3 days, it's going to be wet across much of the state. 100% chance of rain. It is going to rain in Miami tomorrow. Thursday, it likely will rain as well. Friday does look a little bit drier and a little bit warmer as well. If you have any plans in Tampa, Wednesday looks like your wettest day. You have a decent chance of showers and storms here on Thursday, and a drier day on Friday where you do crack 80 degrees on Friday. As we head into Orlando is going to be rainy the next 3 days. Your most active day here looks to be on Thursday. So if you're going to go to the theme parks, maybe Wednesday or Friday would be a slightly better choice than Thursday, but you're going to have to be dodging showers any of the 3 days. For Jacksonville, it's going to be rainy all of the next 3 days. The next two look the most active. Friday looks a little bit warmer across northeastern Florida as well. Pensacola, more the same story. As you're further west, it's going to be wetter tomorrow, dry a little bit on Thursday, and Friday it shouldn't rain, but there's still that 20% that we could see something. Here's the system we're seeing around Florida right now, though. You could just see this huge complex of rain coming in from the Gulf. It's going to be soaking all evening across the peninsula. Much of the panhandle and the peninsula. Miami, you're going to see multiple areas of rain north of Miami. I've seen some models that are indicating a lot of rain for you. It looks like the Space Coast is dry, but pretty much everywhere except for the Space Coast and the Florida Keys, it's raining. If you have any plans in Florida. Across South Florida, you're going to see localized flooding potentially north of Miami. This would be near Fort Lauderdale, maybe up to Palm Beach. You're going to see chance of potentially flooding, so definitely keep that in mind. Orlando, if you're out and about tonight, it's dry in Orlando itself, but southwest side of Orlando where the theme parks are, it's raining, so you're going to be wet if you're going to be out there. Tampa Bay, much rain across that area as well. Around here, we're seeing a little bit of a break in the rain, but we're going to see more coming in off the Gulf tonight, and it's going to stay wet all evening across North Florida, so definitely keep that in mind as you do make plans. Your future radar and satellite, you could see this system really persists over tomorrow and into Thursday as well. Thursday could be the heaviest day of rain if this model ends up being correct, so definitely keep that in mind if you do have any plans on Thursday. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be rainy across the entire state of Florida, potentially some thunderstorms in South Florida as well, so definitely keep that in mind when you are making some plans. But now I'm going to pass things off to Jackson.
Thank you so much, Nico. Yes, we've been having a lot of rain, not just only here in the Big Bend of Florida and throughout the rest of Florida, but also throughout the southeast. We got some cameras right now looking at Nashville, Tennessee. You can see little rain droplets, especially here in New Orleans as well. Tampa, as Nico was saying, dry for now, but you could get some rain later tonight. And then Charlotte, you look pretty dry as well. And some pretty nice temperatures around the southeast. Temperatures in the 60s and higher 50s. And as you can see, that low pressure system, what's causing all this rain in the Big Bend in the southeast, is trying to spin up this low pressure system, trying to spin up, and we'll see it trying to get something going. It's just really not going to get there, though. But we'll see a lot of rain. We will see some winds as well on the coast of the Big Bend. That could be an issue. Taking a look at the temperatures, though, pretty warm down there in Miami, 76, and South Florida, pretty warm. But as we travel north, and to Charlotte, 59, Nashville, 62, and 64 in Little Rock, so pretty mild for this time of year. Not too cold yet, but it's definitely feeling nice to have some of those fall weather temperatures. And as I was saying before, you can see it's pretty windy right here in the Big Bend in Mobile, Alabama, 13 miles an hour. You could see wind gusts a little bit higher than that. I think here in Tallahassee we're expecting to see anywhere from 20 miles per hour wind gusts, so it could knock down a tree. I had a branch down actually in my parking lot when I got home. So make sure to watch out for that and be careful, especially if you're driving. And down there in Miami, it's not too windy, not too bad. And then taking a look at the week ahead, you can see it trying to spin up, and we can see that rain starting to linger, especially in the southeast there in Georgia, around Atlanta and Macon especially, and then start to work its way north to the Outer Banks and into parts of Savannah and Charleston, South Carolina as well. You could see some rain on Friday, so make sure to be prepared for that. If you have any weekend activities going on, if you want to maybe go to the beach, might be a little too cold for that, but definitely pretty moist and pretty dry. Florida, we're used to it. It's always wet. And then taking a look more north, we had some of that dry air, but it kind of lifts on out as the week goes ahead, and we start to see a little bit more wetter temperatures, but it's definitely not going to be too humid because our temperatures are pretty low. Taking a look at some weekend forecasts for our area, Charlotte, pretty nice, 61, 70s. Some of that rain gets to you on Friday, and then Saturday will clear up nicely. 68 is the high, so it's going to be really nice to get out there and go maybe see UNC play, or on Sunday as well, go see the Panthers play. I think they play at home at the Bank of America Stadium. Taking a look at Nashville, pretty nice weekend ahead. Friday could be a damper, 60% chance of rain, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Make sure to bring an umbrella. Temperature's relatively nice as well, 58 on Saturday. And then taking a look at Tampa, it's the same deal, rain all the time, and the temperature's pretty nice as well. And New Orleans is really nice as well as we get closer into Saturday and Friday. But now we're going to transition over to the West Coast, to California, to take a look at a national park of the week.
Yes, thank you, Jackson. So today we're going to be taking a trip out to Joshua Tree National Park. This is going to be interesting forecast for them out there. It is much drier, obviously, than what we're seeing here in Florida because it's California. It tends to be in the desert, and you could see the trees even look deserty out here, but they're actually not a type of tree. They're a kind of succulent plant. They're what you're seeing behind me right here. That's called a Joshua tree here, and you see them, they're also kind of pretty, but you can see the sunset is out pretty as well, but it's really nice out there right now. It contains two deserts, the Mojave and the Colorado Desert, and they only average 8 inches of precipitation annually. We can get that in a month sometimes here in Florida. If you're talking about the summer months, July, August, September, we often see that much rain in just a month here. But today was cooler than normal out there with a low of 43, which was 11 degrees below normal, high 73, 6 degrees below normal. Nowhere near our records, which were just set 2 years ago for the high. The low was back in 1964. Our current conditions out here, though, you're seeing some clouds. It's partly cloudy and 58 degrees, which is a little bit chilly for out here at this time of the day, because in California, I believe it's about 3:30 right now, so it's definitely pretty chilly for this time of the day in some of the areas wherever that station is. But as you're looking around the area, you can see the climate changes as you go up the mountains. It's in the 70s here, but you can see the valley here where it's in the 50s. And then you can see 29 Palms at 74, Indian Wells and Palm Springs, however, to the south and west, where you're a little bit more in the deserty area, it's in the 80s. And our current dew point's nothing compared to what we're seeing here in Florida, a dew point of 19 degrees in some of these areas, 22 degrees in 29 Palms. Our highest dew point that I see is 34, which is about 25 degrees lower than what our dew points are here in Florida right now. Our current radar and satellite, you could see some clouds, but you don't see anything in the way of precipitation at the moment, which is typical for this area. It is the desert, so you wouldn't expect to be dealing with precipitation. As we look at our future radar, however, we do see some clouds, maybe a little bit of precipitation coming into the area tomorrow, one of the rare cases where you do have some. So hopefully they can get a decent amount because I'm sure they need it considering it does not rain out in the desert very often. Our 4-day forecast, our highest chance of rain on Wednesday and Friday with a little bit lower chances by the weekends if you do have any plans to go hiking out there. But now I'm going to send things off to the desk with Jackson and Genevieve for a look at some holiday forecast travels.
Yeah, thank you. Nico, I really want to highlight the Joshua Tree and hiking and all those outdoor activities are something super fun to get out and do for your Thanksgiving plans. What do you think about that, Jackson?
Yeah, I've never been to Joshua Tree, but I'm hoping to make a trip out there someday. But for Thanksgiving, I'm going back home to Georgia, and there's a lot of people on the roads, traveling the airports. It's an estimated 55.4 million Americans expected to travel 50 miles or more for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Jackson, and as you are, and me myself, will be part of those 55.4 million Americans traveling home. But also, it's expected to be the third busiest year for Thanksgiving travel since the year 2000, and I think that a lot of that is due to COVID as people are coming back and restaurants are fully open, very well open now. We're back in business, and so is flight and travel.
Yeah, but compared to last year, it's going to be a little bit busier, maybe 2% busier than last year. So if you got any plans to get to the airport, make sure they get there early, expect delays. There's always some big story about the airlines this time of year, so make sure to stay prepared for that. And just to let you know, most crowded days for flying are Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you can get there on that Saturday and Friday, that'd be the best time to do so.
Yeah, and if you are driving, maybe you're going to Sarasota or Tampa or maybe Jacksonville, the busiest days for traffic will be Wednesday between the hours of 2 and 6, so try to get out before then or maybe after if you're able to do that.
Yeah, we also got to watch things on the Hill. There could be a shutdown, supposedly talks of that, so keep an eye on that. And then also here's a great graphic for you from Pensacola International Airport. Arrive 2 hours before your flight. I know personally I have to leave my house to get to Atlanta Airport at least 4 hours in advance of all that traffic.
Wow,
Yeah.
Jackson, I feel bad, but wow, yeah, absolutely check your email for any info on your flights, and please be safe out there. But maybe a travel location will be somewhere in the Caribbean, maybe the Atlantic Basin, the tropics. How are they looking, Nico?
Yes, thank you, Genevieve and Jackson. Yeah, you might be traveling out to the Caribbean, and unfortunately it does look like we have some areas. This is a newer area that just got highlighted out to the east of Florida. This looks like it will miss Florida, however, and then you have the original system that we've been monitoring for a couple days out here in the Caribbean headed towards Haiti and the Dominican Republic. If you have any travel plans out to here, this system is our bigger system right now. It currently has a 70% chance of developing over the next 7 days, so 7 in 10 chance that this will turn into a system of at least tropical depression strength. It could potentially be even our next named storm, so definitely keep your eyes on that. One of the problems with this system is that it's in an area with sea surface temperatures over 80 degrees, which tends to be fuel for these tropical systems. You can even see pink in here, which is temperatures above 90, so that's definitely going to be some fuel for these systems if it does go across these areas. But taking a look at our tropical cyclone names, the next name on the list is Vince. So if we do get another system, it will be named Vince. And I believe this would be, if I'm counting this out here, this would be the 20th named storm of the season, which would make this the third or fourth most active hurricane season on record if we get to Vince. So that's definitely something that was a little bit unexpected for this season, considering we were starting to transition a little bit into a El Nino from a La Nina, which we had been in, which tends to make it a little bit quieter. We tend to have more severe weather, a little bit less in the tropics. But here's your reminder, just because it is a transitioning into an El Nino does not necessarily mean it won't be active. We're already past 19 storms. We're looking for our 20th, so that's definitely something that you will have to pay attention towards. But the tropics are pretty quiet at the moment. Something could form, you never know. We do still have 16 days left of hurricane season, so you need to pay attention for those next 2 weeks or so. But now I'm going to pass things off to Jackson.
Thank you so much, Nico. Yeah, hopefully there won't be any tropical storms. I know some of the models have been showing maybe a storm impacting, especially in the northeast, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that, so make sure to stay tuned for some later shows throughout this week. Taking a look at around the country, Detroit, Michigan, looks like it could be some rain up there. Boston looks pretty nice. Rosh Harbor, 47 degrees. That is chilly. I do not want to be there right now. In Boulder, Colorado, 70 degrees. You know, when you think of Colorado, you would think it'd be a little bit colder, but it's 70 degrees. It's nice, and it's fall, so go figure. And taking a look at the entire United States, pretty mild temperatures. It's been really nice fall. We haven't seen too cold temperatures, really. We had that one cold snap, especially up there in Billing and Bismarck. It's only 54 and 46 right now. And in Minneapolis, 65. In Boston, 44 is the coldest, I think, on this map. 48 in Detroit, and then Miami, 80 degrees, always one of the hottest points in the country. Taking a look at the dew points, it is, as we've been talking about, it has been pretty moist, especially with all this rain down here in Florida, but taking a look at the rest of the country, it's actually been pretty dry. There hasn't been much rain really going on. As you can see by these dew points, 6 degrees for the dew point temperature in Denver. All that elevation in Denver definitely helps with that. And then taking a look over here on the East Coast, Detroit, as you get more north into the Northeast, pretty dry conditions, but those will change as we go throughout the week and get some of this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And as you can see right now, you see that little storm swirling around there in the Gulf of Mexico. Definitely going to make some impacts here tonight in the Big Bend region and throughout the next 2 days. And as we go later into the week. And then taking a look behind me over there just south of Portland and San Francisco, you could see some rains, could see a scattered shower or two. And then as well in the Midwest, Minneapolis, you could see a passing cloud, but you shouldn't have to worry anything about rain going on for your evening commute tonight. Then going into tomorrow, and as the days ahead, we have all this moisture. How much rain are we actually going to get? We could see anywhere localized 3 to 5 inches, especially as we get closer to Pensacola. I think for us in Tallahassee, just right around 2 inches across the next throughout the week into Friday. And as you get more north, these totals will start going up as we get into Saturday, especially in Charlotte. You're going to see more rain as we go through. And then taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center, we have all this rain, but we're not going to really have any thunderstorms or severe weather. Thankfully, you could see a thunderstorm down there in Miami due to all that heat, and it's very hot down there. And then as we go into Thursday, not much either really going in terms of severe weather. As we take a look at temperature outlook for the rest of the 6 to 10 day forecast that's posted by the Storm Prediction Center and the climatology, it's going to be pretty moderate for this time of year, especially for being fall, but hopefully those temperatures will start to cool down a little bit. And speaking about all this moist weather, we're going to take a 180 turn with Nico and talk about a drought.
Yes, thank you, Jackson. We're definitely going to have to deal with the drought, but first we're looking at tonight's temperatures around the area. We're still dealing with that chilly weather as we are headed into this kind of nor'easter type weather if you live along the coast. Tomorrow's going to be more of the same. But as we head into the next couple days, as I wait for my graphics to load, we are in a drought. We're still in a drought, and here you can see it. Louisiana, Mississippi are in the epicenter of the drought. Hopefully all this rain is going to put a dent into it because even Tallahassee are in the abnormally dry area right now. Today we did have our first measurable rainfall since October 12th, so this rain is well needed. You can even see parts of the west coast of Florida are in the more extreme drought areas right now, so it's well needed across much of the southeast. The system is affecting these areas in Louisiana and Mississippi as well, luckily. And you can see our current temperatures. You can see where the temperatures are a little bit cooler in this area. This is a lot of the area that's rain-cooled and cloud cover air right now, all across the Gulf Coast, from Lake Charles all the way through Pensacola and east of here to about Lake City. All of this area is seeing rain right now. You can see where the higher dew points are. This is where you're seeing moisture. However, parts of the inner southeast, you're still dealing with that drought. So unfortunately, you haven't gotten as much rain from this system. You still need it. Florida Peninsula, you're going to get in on this rain as well. So the drier areas across the state of Florida, they're going to see the rain as well. But you can see the really dark red area. You're seeing heavier areas of rain right now. I mean, the rain isn't super heavy, but when you get it training on the same areas, you're going to get a decent amount of rainfall to hopefully dent into that drought. And then here across the Panhandle, you're also dealing with lots of rain. But looking at some drought tips, you do need to conserve water, practice fire prevention, and follow directions from local officials. Hopefully we can lay off of that a bit as we head later this week if we can get enough rainfall from this system, which is highly possible. But now I'm going to pass things off to Genevieve.
Yeah, thank you, Nico. We are very grateful that this rain is finally coming in when we so very much needed it, especially over in Pensacola and far to the west of us here in Tallahassee. We really needed that to recover from the drought. Our area cameras, sadly, St. George Island seems to be out right now. That or it is extremely dark, which I don't think so. But for the Tallahassee regional cameras, we are looking quite gray and quite dark. That sun has set and the rain is here. Luckily, though, if you are planning to fly out of Tallahassee tonight in the next couple of hours before the airport closes, you have a green flight, so that means there are no delays and it is clear for you to go. And that holds true for all of the main airports in the U.S., though I would always double check, look at your email, see if that boarding pass is still legit, because you never really know. The rain is really quite harmful to planes and not something great to fly in. Now, if you do happen to have allergies and your sinuses often act up, I have some great news for you, and that is that the pollen levels are very low, so grass, weeds, and trees, low levels, so hopefully your walk to class tomorrow and today was bearable and that you weren't flaring up as you walk into your class. For Ale's beautiful birthday forecast, it is our Thursday team leader's birthday today. If she plans to walk any of her pets or take maybe her family out, tomorrow, sadly, it will still be raining, but I know she will make it a great day. If she wants to wake up at 7 a.m. bright and early, it'll be 60 degrees, so feel free to follow her with that plan and get into those chilly temperatures. Make sure to bring a jacket, though. And our #1 ranked women's soccer team plays this Friday at the FSU soccer complex. So that'll be 73 degrees. Luckily, it'll get a little warmer, a little more bearable for us native Floridians. And our FSU volleyball team will also be playing on Friday. Same temperature, but in the Tully gym. So right next to the Leach. So try to get out and support our Knowles as always. And basketball, women's basketball. That's happening in Gainesville. Maybe a little treat before maybe you head down to see the UF game. It'll be 75 degrees. Hopefully we see a win. All of our teams are so amazing. And the big one, FSU versus North Alabama. There at Doak Campbell Stadium, we have our hero over here, Jordan Travis, quarterback. Wonderful, wonderful man. He is supporting our team and doing us so well. It'll be 74 degrees, so you won't need a jacket. Our beach cam, 72 degrees in Shell Point Beach. It's quite chilly, not chilly, but it's quite dreary and quite muggy, so not beach weather. And that holds true for tomorrow as well. Our FSU Sportsplex, 55 degrees, and that rain will persist into the next couple of days. That rain, is it going away anytime soon, Jackson?
Maybe not anytime soon, but we are going to see this rain persist for the next 2 days. Hopefully it'll be gone by this weekend for the game. It's looking like it should. And here we go. We got a live view of Doak Campbell Stadium. It's 58 degrees right now. A little windy out there, so make sure if you're walking, riding a moped, be aware of that. You know, it could get a little windy out there, and you might be bouncing around and stuff. So taking a look at our current local radar, we got some pretty heavy rain, especially down here closer to the coast, and basically everyone's experiencing rain. Some type of rain, whether it's a drizzle, whether it's a downpour, whether it's just normal rain. It's rain. There's green everywhere, especially as we get closer into Georgia. It's consisting up into Thomasville and to Brookfield as well. Taking a look at some of the temperatures right now for our area. Pretty mild temperatures right now. It's been pretty nice all day. It's been a nice little change from those 84-degree highs. It's been, right now, it's 58 in Tallahassee, 54 in Thomasville, pretty chilly. But overall, everyone's pretty much seeing these cool, nice 50 degrees weather accompanied with this, all this rain. Taking a look at the dew points, it's really just gonna be wet outside. You know, it's been the story of today. It's all this rain, really gonna make it wet. As you get closer into North Georgia, you could see some more drier temperatures. Taking a look into ahead in your early morning commute tomorrow, could see some heavier rain bands here in Leon County, and especially if you get down towards Perry and then closer to Pensacola, you could see some heavier rain bands throughout your morning commute. So make sure to be aware of that and make sure to slow down, hydroplane on the roads. And taking a look at tonight, we got a picture over Florida State campus, 54 degrees, not going to be, it's going to feel pretty cold out there, especially with that wind going in and all that rain in your face. So make sure to pack an umbrella for that if you're doing any studying tonight. Taking a look at the region, 62s down by the coast, but everywhere else pretty much 55, 60s for the most part. And then tomorrow, all this rain's still going to be raining. It's still going to be nice out there. Oh, not nice out there, but, you know, nice temperature-wise. And then 72, warming up down by the coast as we get closer to the Gulf of Mexico. And then taking a look at our week ahead, it looks like the rain should clear out by Friday. A little chance, 20% chance of rain for our coverage area on Friday. And then by Saturday, with the number 4 nationally ranked Florida State Seminoles take on North Alabama. It's going to be 75. You know, game kickoff is at 6:30, so it would be a little cool. It's going to be really nice. Sun's setting. You're in the Doak. It's going to be a lot of fun. Great atmosphere, and we actually could see a little rain there on Tuesday, so make sure to just stay with us and keep aware of that. So, Genevieve and Nico, are y'all going to the game on this weekend?
Oh, absolutely, Jackson. I've requested my ticket and got the email today, so I'm very, very happy. But we do have to get through Wednesday and Thursday this week with the rain to come.
Yeah, we definitely do. Luckily, it will clear out for the game on Saturday, so at least we aren't going to be dealing with a rain game. But we do have to deal with the rain while we're walking to classes on Wednesday and Thursday, so definitely pack an umbrella.
That is for sure. An umbrella and possibly maybe a change of shoes and socks, as I myself and I know others have wet shoes right now, and they are sitting in the corner of the room, so be prepared and check the weather.
Yes, definitely. But you can always follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/FSUweather.
And as always, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSUweather.
And you can always watch us live on YouTube like you are right now at youtube.com/FSUweather.
And please send us pictures of clouds, rain, sun, shine, anything weather related to FSU Weather on Instagram, and follow us on TikTok, of course. But for now, I'm student meteorologist Genevieve Rejock.
And I'm student meteorologist Nico Sapienza, and we're going to send it off to the wall to look at your 7-day one last time.